Okay, day 665 off the grid. Yeah, just one day before the big 666. And hopefully the weather will be good tomorrow and I can do something special. But today, I've started our deep freeze again for the lighter seasons. Finally got around to it. This is not the freezer runner's fridge arrangement. This is just an ordinary freezer, deep freeze, run as a deep freeze, but we don't use it over the winter because it sucks too much juice. But now we've got plenty of power, I've turned it on again. Got this little temperature gauge here run into it so I know what the temperature is. It started out at 12.1 when I first powered it up about a few minutes ago, and as you can see now it's dropping. I also thought to put this, well, it's not a kilowatt meter but a kilowatt style meter on here, just to determine how much power this is going to use, ultimately getting it to its beginning temperature before I put food in there. As you can see so far it's used 0 units, which is not much use. Let's see if we can get it onto some other metrics. Voltage 230 volts, 50 hertz, of course, that's the supply from this inverter. Here we go, it's drawing 0.75 amps and the power factor is 72. That's because it's an inductive load. And the watts, instantaneous watts, are 126 watts, so that's what this thing uses. They don't use a lot of watts, but this will be chugging away for hours and hours before its thermostat says it's where it should be, so I'll film that later. But so far the kilowatt hours used, well, hasn't even been on long enough to get 1 decimal up yet, but it will. So, initiation of freezer for this lighter season's freezing purposes. Okay, here we are. We're at negative 8.6 degrees Celsius now, and the power meter here has just tipped over to 0.1 units. Total time just over an hour. So that's not much power to take it from negative 12 down to negative 8.6, but it's going to take a lot more to get it down to negative 19 or whenever the thermostat trips off. Okay, it's 5:30 PM now and the temperature is at 14.2, so not much of a change since last time. We're reading 0.3 units here on the meter, and let's see what the total time, 3 hours 18, 229 volts. Current's dropped, wattage has dropped correspondingly too, of course, because the motor's getting warm. So there we go. Okay, it's now nearly 7:30. The sun is starting to get close to setting over there. It was down to 15.2, but I've just put some containers of spaghetti in here, which has brought it back up to 14.4, but it was down to 15.2 from the last reading. And we've drawn so far half a unit, half a kilowatt hour. It's been running for 5 hours 14 minutes. 0.65 amps. It's probably all out of focus actually, that is. I don't know. You're hearing what I'm saying anyway. So, starting to chill down. It's taken a long time to get these few degrees down, and it always does. Okay, it's 10 to 10 PM and the temperature's now on 14.8 8. I have put some spaghetti in here to freeze down and been in and out getting tea and stuff. We've used 0.8 units so far getting it where it's going, but I would imagine if I let this go it'll just keep going all night before it trips the thermostat at about -19 or so, whatever it was set to last time. I don't have a lot of confidence in the thermostat in this freezer. I may actually rig up an electronic one to control it. In fact, what I did last year to moderate the power it used was I just got this mechanical timer and set it 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. It's also controlled by another electronic timer, but that's just to turn it off at night, because this will hold a reasonably good temperature overnight, so it sort of is not so hard on the batteries that way, and that's the way I did it last year, but we'll see what happens this year. But yeah, I'm reasonably happy with the way it's going. I have engaged a 10 volt battery bank, so we might just go out and have a quick look at that. Okay, and here's the 10 volt battery bank doing its thing. As you can see, the voltage is at 9.63 volts, which would be rather scary if this was in fact a normal 12 volt battery bank. In fact, it would probably be a little bit scary even if it was a proper 10 volt battery bank, i.e. genuine 5-cell batteries. But me seeing this tells me that it's actually doing really well because of the high internal resistance of some of those batteries. The voltage does sag a bit, but it's not sinking like a stone, so that's a figure I am very happy with. Now we should see what current it's putting in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 11.68 amps. It's drawing from the batteries into my homemade boost converter here. And that's passing through 3.25 amps to the 24 volt system. Not too bad, considering it's got to step up from 9.6 volts up to over 25. Now, I did notice that this circuit breaker here is getting a little bit warm. No, that's not because it's an AC breaker. It's because it's a 16 amp breaker and 11 amps is getting up there in its rating, so of course the internal resistor there that generates the heat to trip the bimetallic strip is starting to warm up. I think I might upgrade this to a newer one and possibly a higher amperage one. It's really only just to act as an on-off switch in this position. But what I am going to do quite soon is hook up a timer, much like the one I've got in the B shed, to control that bank, to control this, so I can kind of go, yeah, I might use 6 hours of the 10 volt battery tonight and dial in 6 hours and then walk away. At the moment it's completely manual, but yeah, that's working pretty well. The fridge, I'll probably, yeah, like I said, I'll probably knock it off and use the timer for overnight. I probably won't leave it running all night, just in case the weather is not the best tomorrow. Although, by the look of the sky, it's probably going to be a great day, and that would be awesome, because then we'll have a great day for day 666 off the grid. Which this isn't, of course. This is day 665, but day 666 is the big one. It's a pity it didn't totally coincide with the day of Halloween, but who gives a shit. But yeah, that's freezer time now. Freezer time. The reason why that's getting warm is of course because of the internal resistance, but that amounts to a voltage drop of 375 millivolts, which at 10 amps for easy maths is 3.75 watts. So, you know, a 3.75 watt resistor dissipating that will be warm. So it's actually not super warm though. I mean, it's warm to the touch, but it's not hot or anything like that. It's perfectly safe. That's how it would behave if that kind of current was going through it if it was on an AC circuit, but voltage drops are less acceptable on low voltage DC circuits, of course. One final thing. Here's a look inside the shed at night with the lights off. All the cool little blinking lights. I kind of like that kind of thing. Maybe I should take a photo of that in the dark.